Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, you're going to meet an amazing disruptor. She's changing the way car insurance is done in DFW. Her amazing journey just ahead.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, I love disruptors on this show. I mean, if you think about the taxi cab industry, it had been done the same way for generations, and then along comes Uber, the hotel industry, disrupted by Airbnb. Well, somebody had to come along and disrupt the car insurance industry. It's been done the same way for generations, and that describes my next guest. Maria Coello is in the studio. She is with MyClick Insurance. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you, Jeff.
Yes.
For inviting me. It's such a pleasure to be here.
Well, and we're going to talk about a major award that she got from the DBJ in a minute, but let's start with your journey. You are a Yale MBA, and you didn't start out in car insurance, so tell us a little bit about your journey.
So let me take you back. I know where to start. Let me take you back of why I do what I do, right? Why am I so passionate about auto insurance? My family and I immigrated to America in the early 90s from Ecuador. Mm-hmm. And it was a Sunday morning. My dad was driving back from church. My mom was on the passenger seat, and me and my 3 siblings were on the back of the car. So suddenly we see smoke coming out of the car. My dad pulls over, opens the hood, and there is fire. And this is the early 90s, so we didn't have cell phones. So we called a Good Samaritan stops, and he calls the firefighters. We put the fire out. But keep in mind, we're recently arrived immigrants. My mom is cleaning houses. My dad is delivering newspapers. The car is what we need to get to work. So we were all worried what was going to happen to our lifestyle now that we have a car. Luckily, that car had insurance. So that really protected us in that critical situation. The insurance paid, life was great again. My parents went back to work, everything was safe. So that story really changed the way I look at life and why I started the insurance business, to protect people. That's my passion, that's my calling. It's very hard to do, and I do it every day with a lot of energy because it's truly a calling.
And you have carved out a very unique niche for yourself. Describe your customers.
So I target people like me. I target immigrants who don't have driver's license, but we all want them to be protected. So I insure them with passports from anywhere in the world. If you're Nigerian, if you're Colombian, if you're Venezuelan, I will sell you a policy with your passport or your driver's license from your country of origin. And I want the word you mentioned it. I want it because of the technology that I built. So I built it with the consumer in mind. They can go online or from their phones and buy a policy in less than 5 minutes. And the cool thing about my feature is that because some of these demographics don't have credit cards, they can pay cash, and they can pay cash buying a policy digitally by going to 7-Eleven or Family Dollar or CVS, and we make it very easy and convenient for them 7 days a week.
And you were making the point before the show that many of your consumers, their cell phone is their lifeline. So you've made it very easy for people to work with you.
Correct. They can purchase a policy, they can add vehicles, delete vehicles, as many times as they want, and everything is done without a human. They can do it all on their phones. And then a cool thing about my system too is that they can turn a policy on and off. So for example, if your car breaks down while you're paying for insurance, you can turn it off. And once your car is working again, you can turn it back on.
Wow. Maria, I think you're absolutely brilliant. Let's go ahead and pull up her website. And as we scroll down the website, let's talk about the early days. So you started in 2018.
Yes.
And you told me it was a rough year.
It was a very rough year. So it took me 3 years to launch the business. So 2018 is when I launched it, but I really started working on it in 2015. So if you think about it, you have to have all these different components, like the claims, the underwriting, the actuary, the technology, the reinsurance. So that took me 3 years. Then I launched in 2018, and I am not a marketing person, okay? So I'm a nerd. And I was really excited building the system. I launched in 2018, and the old saying goes, you build it and they come. Well, they didn't come. They never showed up. Oh, they didn't show up. A few of them showed up. So then I had to go back to the drawing board and figure out what is going on. And I realized I'm telling you the story in 20 seconds, but it took me months to realize. In 2018, the consumer was still buying policies through independent agents. Okay. They were not buying policies going directly online. My demographics, my consumers. Yes. So then I had to change the marketing strategy, and I had to make it more a traditional, non-digital strategy that targets that consumer. But that took me months to figure out, right? Yeah. That took me, because I'm not naturally a marketing person. So from then on, I needed to understand humans and how humans behave and what motivates them and how they make purchases. So now I love marketing.
And we're going to show some video from our library of just car insurance and cars as we talk about this. When you think about your industry, are you alone in the space? Do you have any competition?
So I do. I do have competitors, and I love them, of course. I send them a lot of love to my competitors.
But part of it is your technological genius. I mean, your app, I guess it would be, is easier to use than anything else that's out there.
Yes, so because I designed it with the consumer in mind.
Yes.
So after I finished my MBA, I worked for a private equity company, and then I started my business. But I knew that the most successful companies know their customer really well.
Yes.
So I got an insurance license, and I opened I opened an office inside a grocery store. So I sold policies, and by that process of selling policies directly to the consumer, I really learned their behavior, right? I really learned that they are struggle with financial, with their budget sometimes. So, and they get paid on a weekly basis. So that's when I designed the system. If you don't have the economic means to pay the policy, turn it off and turn it on at your convenience, right? So I really got to know my consumer really well. Yes. And that's why I'm so passionate about what I do, and I do it for my clients to protect them.
And just like looking them in the eye, and you're talking to them, you're getting feedback. You're saying, okay, this is how I need to adjust my company to fit this market.
Correct. That's exactly how I did it. Went back and forth, trial and error. Does this work? Is not working? Let's do it again. And that iteration makes me better and better and better and better, right? One of my favorite quotes is from Winston Churchill. Success is going from failure to failure without losing optimism, because that's what it takes, right?
Wow.
You go from failure to failure, and you keep doing it and doing it and doing it until you get better and better and better and better.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
I could listen to you all day. We're going to show the graphic that the Dallas Business Journal put up for this award. Let's go ahead and put it on the screen. And I want you to talk about what an honor it is to have the Women in Technology Award.
Thank you.
Yeah. Tell us about this honor.
So I'm very honored, and I'm very thankful to the Dallas Business Journal for the award. It means a lot to me. When I first started thinking about launching a business like this, my husband likes to say that I don't believe in the word can't, right? I only how am I going to do it? Because I didn't have any insurance experience, right? I had to go get my license and then sell insurance, but I didn't have mentors teaching me. I didn't grow up in the industry.
Yes.
I chose the industry. I chose it. And so to be awarded and to be recognized for all my efforts, it's very meaningful, and I'm very honored. I'm very thankful.
Is this the first time that you have entered or have been nominated?
For this award, yes. Yeah. Yes, I got the 40 Under 40 award, also from the Dallas Business Journal, many years ago. I
don't think it was that long ago. You aged very well. So I want to start to talk about the young entrepreneur, the person who's taking that first step into entrepreneurship. What advice would you give them?
Never give up. Never give up. it's a calling, and you just have to wake up and do it again, and have your faith first, then your family, then your friends, and then work. But always your faith has to come first.
Was there ever a time in that first year, 2018, when were your friends telling you, Maria, just pull the plug on this, go back to private equity?
Yes, definitely. And I was telling myself too, right? So I was telling myself the same things. Is it worth it? Why am I doing this, right? And that changed when I changed. So when I started enjoying the journey, when I told myself, listen, it's a long journey. You just need to enjoy the journey and don't worry about the destination. So when I changed, my business also changed. So I would tell the entrepreneurs that it's a very long journey. Enjoy every single day.
Wow. And you can sell throughout the state of Texas. Let's look into the future. Where do you see this going, Maria? Are you a empire builder? Would you like to be in all 50 states? Or what do you imagine for yourself?
Well, I do imagine protecting more clients. So I do want to protect more people. I do see myself hopefully expanding to other states in the next 5 to 6 years. That's my goal. I will be reaching nationwide. I'm all over Texas. Insurance is highly regulated, so it's not a situation where I say I'm going to go into certain state because I need to get approval from the regulators to do that.
Sure.
But that's my goal, is to eventually be nationwide.
Wow. And you have a teenager at home?
I'm happily married for 21 years. My husband, Mike, and my daughter, McKenna.
And what do you hope McKenna is drawing from watching her mom?
I think failure is not an option, right? Like, you always keep trying. She plays tennis. And I tell her this all the time because tennis, as you know, you lose one set, but you can come back and do it again and do it again. Yes. So I tell her the Churchill quote regularly.
I love
Success is going from failure to failure without losing optimism.
And life is, I love what you said about life is about the journey, because so many entrepreneurs I know are saying, I will be happy when, and it's a milepost ahead in the future, and the milepost always moves. So they end up not really enjoying the journey, don't they?
That's right. And keep also in mind that humans, once we get there, we want more, right? Once we achieve certain goals and we want what is next and what is next. So it's about the journey. It's about having pleasure and having satisfaction in every day.
I love that. Okay, we've got about a minute left. So Maria, look into the camera on the left and give us some final thoughts.
Final thoughts. Your faith first, your family second, friends, and work. That is a recipe for happiness. And if you do that, then you'll be a happy person.
I love that. Mic drop. All right, you've been an amazing guest. We're going to end with her website, which is MyClickInsurance.com. Maria, thank you so much for sharing your heart with us.
Oh, no, my pleasure. Of course. Anytime.
That's it for now. We'll see you next time.